Hey folks, welcome back to Dub Africa. Once again, this is Chris on the road still. Well, interesting, exciting news if you're in aviation in South Africa, or just aviation in general. It's nice to see airlines survive and thrive. Some more really good news. Now, this isn't about Comair, and it's certainly not about the failed parastatal South African Airways, which needs to be given a quick and painful disbandment. It needs to be disbanded and formally eliminated. But that's not happening as the state struggles to find a way to keep the failed airline in business so that it can be a place to park its favored cadres so they can pilfer and steal. But anyway, it's also a prestige project for the ANC. For some reason, they can't let go of a national airline. But Comair is still in receivership or business rescue and waiting to come out of that. In the meantime, what used to be known as SA Airlink, South African Airways Airlink, or South African Airlink, was tied to South African Airways for many, many years, for a couple of decades. It was founded back in 1992. The airline formally changed its name last month, decoupled from its tie to South African Airways earlier in the year. But last month, in October of 2020, they formally changed the name from SA Airlink to simply Airlink. And they're rolling out a brand new livery. It's awesome looking, folks. Beautiful with South African sunburn on it. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And you'll see the picture here on the video. If you look down at the little image for it, you'll see the new livery. And what is a livery? For those not in aviation, livery is the painted logo and insignia that you find on an airframe. And so on this one, they have a beautiful tail and beautiful colors on the wingtips. And it's quite lovely. Airlink with flyairlink.com at their website. Beautiful stuff. Now, Airlink has 53 aircraft and flies to 45 destinations. Back on October 21st, they announced a huge deal with Emirates. This is awesome. In that deal with Emirates, they agreed that they will carry Emirates passengers throughout their network of 45 different cities. 20 of those are in South Africa and 25 in neighboring countries. So they hit the big spots, whether it's Victoria Falls or Harare in Zimbabwe, Windhoek in Namibia, or it's Maun for tourism in Botswana, Kasane for tourism in Botswana, or the capital of Gaborone. But Airlink now will travel to all these, well, does travel to all those locations, but they'll also take and ferry Emirates passengers, a huge link up for them, and quite an exciting development. They previously announced that they had a deal with Qatar Airways as well. So Qatar will also link up with Airlink, and this is quite a promising sign for them. So this airline appears to be coming out of this COVID-19 debacle stripped of its ties to the failed South African Airways, which is a nice relief for them to get away from that. And they've linked up with two international carriers with proven track records who are profitable and can bring a lot of traffic. For their part, we saw that Qatar resumed flights, or excuse me, Emirates resumed flights to South Africa back on the 1st of October, to Johannesburg and Cape Town, and now on the 8th of October, after that, they started flights to Durban. So Emirates already flying back into South Africa. This will allow people traveling through that part of the world to get to South Africa an opportunity to continue on through Airlink's network, whether you want to go to Zimbabwe or you want to go to Mozambique or Namibia, Botswana, it really doesn't matter. You can pick those 25 destinations. So quite an interesting development for them. The airline began operating under its own designator, the 4Zulu designator code. So quite interesting. This new look is an African sunbird set against the sunrise in a dark sky, or dawn sky, excuse me, a dawn sky. Beautiful stuff. And it kind of signifies their new strategy as an independent carrier, nothing to do with South African Airways. Good move. Airlink, good move. Anyway, folks, the new livery is going to debut on the Embraer 190, which is a regional jet on their services in early December. So just a short time from now. And it says the paint scheme will be rolled out across the fleet in the coming months with scheduled maintenance. So it should be interesting to see all of their aircraft eventually have this on there. They had a 23-year relationship with South African Airways, and that ended in February this year because South African Airways is a dead carcass. And so they finally got away from that. But good to see that Airlink has got daily services back up on the busiest routes, which include connecting Johannesburg to Cape Town and Durban. Also, their Port Elizabeth East London links to Johannesburg and its international networks from Joburg to Maputo and to Windhoek in Namibia. So they're getting their flights back up as passengers start coming about. And there you have it, folks. Meanwhile, on the aviation landscape, South African Airways remains dead on arrival, still waiting for something to happen there. And it looks like the government is undecided or unclear about whether they're going to pour more money into it or they're not going to pour more money into it. They announced they're pouring more money, but then government officials say that they're not going to fund it. So I would expect to see that this painful death of South African Airways, a once proud airline, which had 43 aircraft just a short while ago, down to less than 9 aircraft now. In fact, has older Airbus instead of the newer ones that the A350s they're releasing. They had to get rid of all those. And so they're dealing with older A340s, and they're in sad shape and not flying currently, grounded. Meanwhile, Calm Air is looking to come out of its restructuring and restore its flights in December, so they should get more aircraft capacity and seats for South African passengers. Now, they'll do that as their own independent carrier and also as their franchisee for British Airways, which means British Airways tailfins will return to the skies in South Africa very shortly. And of course, their budget airline, Calm Air Kulula, will also get back in the air. Now, there's another startup that's launching soon. It's called Lift, and they'll have 2 domestic routes on December 10th. So that'll get Calm Air, Kulula, Lift, and Airlink back in the air. Meanwhile, South African Airways sits on the ground, grounded in business rescue. That means bankruptcy. Anyway, folks, there you have it. A brand new livery. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Beautiful look. Take a look at the photograph, folks. I think you'll like it quite a bit. I think it's outstanding. Beautiful look. As I said, it's a African sunbird set against a sunrise and a dawn sky. Beautiful colors. And I wish all the best Airlink and hope them great success. And this is welcome news for South Africans who can't get from one place to another. Now you have an opportunity to get back in the air, folks. Get around the country and around the region. So good luck with that. And by the same token, I imagine you could probably get on the Airlink to get from a remote town to get to an Emirates or a Qatar flight to get you around the world. Anyway, folks, thanks for tuning in. If you're not a subscriber to Chris White Africa, why not become a subscriber? Just smash that subscription button right down there. And be sure to toggle the bell icon so you get notified of updates from my future videos and live streams, as well as special feature interviews. And feel free to leave a comment if you're curious about aviation or you have something to add to the story. Welcome all comments. And then finally, smash that like button. Likes drive viewership, and we really appreciate that. Thank you so much. God bless, and good luck to Airlink now that you have abandoned the failed parastatal South African Airways. Love your new livery. It's beautiful, and I hope that you fill your planes and you become quite profitable. It's a privately held carrier, so I'm especially hopeful that they will be profitable. Take care, folks. Thank you very much for your time, your patience, and your patronage.